Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is going to be an at-home brow lamination. So I'll show you the before and after of what my brows look like, as well as everything that I use to do it. So this is everything that the kit includes, and it has perm, fixation, nutrition, and cleanser, and it also has some tools and some other things that are specifically for eyelashes, which I won't be using. And then once my brows are permed up, I'm going to dye them with this Just for Men beard dye, and I've used this before when I used to have my darker hair. I haven't been using it very much now that I'm a blonde, so I grabbed the color medium brown since I'll still want my eyebrows to be a little bit darker to match my root. And I wanted to make sure that I was totally prepared, so I also grabbed these makeup wipes just in case, a couple of cotton swabs. This is a little eyebrow tool, and I'll probably use that when I'm doing my tint. Now that we're all zoomed, we can get started. And just a disclaimer, this is my first time doing my eyebrows like this, so you'll have to bear with me. We're taking you along for the process. So first I start out with the number 4 cleanser to make sure that any makeup, dirt, and oil are gone. I just use a cotton swab for this part, and then I'll brush the hairs upward since that's the direction that I want them to end up in. The next product is false lash glue. It has a built-in applicator. I took the tiny brush starting at the fronts of my brows and to pull the hairs upward. This product feels really sticky, and at first I didn't think that it was working. As a side note, I actually skipped this step initially because I thought I didn't really need it since it's called lash glue, and then I realized about 15 minutes later and had to wash off my eyebrows and restart, and here we are again. The process of positioning each individual hair up is a little bit tedious, and you have to keep using the same motion over and over and over again. Each individual hair is really important and will end up being stuck the way that you place it, so make sure that you have them up enough or over enough to suit the look that you're going for. Also remember to dip the applicator back in the bottle whenever you're needing a little bit more product. I dipped about 3 times probably per eyebrow. About halfway through, I started to think that it was looking a little bit crazy with these huge upward brows, but you can always trim them a little bit afterwards so they aren't looking as fluffy. When I got around to the arch, I started pushing the brows up and over to the side because I think it personally looks a little bit better for my shape. You can also use a spoolie to comb through all of the hairs, but most of the ones at the front are already pretty tacky and didn't want to move much after they were already been sitting. I would recommend fully finishing the front and only moving through the next few hairs once you're fully satisfied with the positioning, so that when the glue dries, they're already where you want them to be. I tried to go back on a few areas, but I wasn't as successful since there was already a lot of dried up glue there. Here is a little comparison of the brows glued up versus how they look before. I repeat the same steps to the other brow, but I skipped showing that part since it takes so long. And here they are again, both of them glued up now. Next, take the number 1 perm and apply it to both the brows. I use the back end of the spoolie to place the product on my eyebrow, and then I use this brow eyeliner brush to smooth it over. After the perm is on, you could take some plastic wrap to cover up your brows. I sort of tucked the plastic behind my ears, but it stayed on pretty secure. If you're wanting to, you can probably put it on with some hair clips just to make sure that it won't fall off. Wait 10 minutes and then remove the plastic. Now I'm using this tool from the toolkit. It is supposed to remove excess product before proceeding to the next step. It had these tiny teeth, and I tried to scrape up in the same motion of the hairs. Some product was coming off, but I also noticed I was pulling out a few eyebrow hairs. This part also left the area red for the rest of the night, so maybe the dull end would have been better to use. Now time to apply the fixation onto the brows. This one I applied again using the back end of the spoolie to take the product out of the bottle and onto my brows, and then I used my eyebrow brush to make sure everything is evenly coated. I cleaned the brush before using the new product on it, just so I'm not mixing together both of the products. Cover your eyebrows again with plastic wrap and wait for another 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes is up, take the No. 4 cleaning product to wipe off some of the product from your brows and use the plastic cleaning tool once again. I still found this to be hurting my eyebrows, so I began to switch to makeup wipes instead. Again, I think you're meant to use the flat end instead of the end with the teeth. Here's what they look like after all of these steps. Next, to do the DIY eyebrow tint, get some Just for Men and use a pea-sized amount of equal product from the 2 tubes. The amount I showed ended up being way too much, just for reference. Mix the product really well with the angled brush. Again, I cleaned it before using this with the new product, and then apply to your brows similar how you would fill them in. Make sure to focus on upward strokes and to get the hairs rather than your skin. Take your time applying this because the dye will last a couple of weeks and any mistakes might still show through. I also used the spoolie to help comb through the product to make sure that every brow would be coated. After I was satisfied with how much I put onto the hairs, I also took a small amount of the product and traced it along the bottom of my brow, similar to how I would fill in the eyebrows with my pencil. I did this part last since it was mainly going to be dyeing my skin, and I was a little bit nervous that the color might be a bit too dark and noticeable. I wiped up some of the product that smeared too high above the brow and set a timer for 5 minutes. After a couple minutes, my brows were looking really dark and scary, so I took my makeup wipes to wash it off. When I'm not on camera, I would also go wash my face to make sure that I got all of it off completely. The color ended up being a little darker than I thought it would be, but I have dyed them even darker before, so I think that they turned out relatively good for my hair color. Here's the results again with the before picture and then the after. And that is it for my brow lamination and tint video. I think that they turned out really well. They're a little bit darker than I expected, but I assume that it's going to fade the next time I wash my face, so I'm pretty happy with the results. Now that I've tried out the lash kit on my brows, I am considering doing it on my lashes at home. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys think that I should do another video doing an at-home lash lift. And if you have tried it, leave me any tips that you might have. Okay, so it's actually the next morning now, and I just wanted to come back on here because my camera was literally dying yesterday. I had to stop filming and recharge it, and it was just really hard to get some of the footage because my camera was dead. But anyways, I am completely makeup free. I just woke up, and these are how my eyebrows are looking. I have washed my face now twice since you would have last seen them, and they're still like standing up straight. I kind of brushed them up and then a little bit over because I didn't want them to be too fluffy, if that makes sense. Like, it was a pretty big change from how my eyebrows looked before. And for my dye that I chose, it was the color medium brown, but it's a little bit dark even compared to my natural root, which is only peeping out right there. So I'm going to probably just let it be because it's going to fade a little bit each day and probably only last about a week for the dye anyways. But I think I'll probably try to get like a dark blonde color and hope that that works. I just know that sometimes blonde is a little bit too light seeming, so yeah. I just wanted to come on here and give you an update and show you how they look completely makeup free and the next day. This process is definitely something that I'm going to do again. I really loved the results, and I hope that you guys loved it too, and I hope that you're gonna try it out. Just a reminder that all of the product links are going to be down below in the bio, so feel free to check them out. And as always, you can follow along with my journey on Instagram for daily updates and TikTok as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video.